going on? It's the Objective Jerk. I'm said Jerk. How's everybody doing? Did you get out and vote yet? I hope so. Get out there, vote. Don't think like, oh, it looks like he's got it. I don't need to go out and vote. No, get out there and vote. Vote. The only way he's going to win is if he wins like bigly. If it's close, they're going to be able to fudge the numbers, and same thing's going to happen. We're going to be stuck with another communist retard for 4 years, and things are just going to get worse. By the end of those 4 years, we'd be eating bugs and living in pods and shit. So let's not go there, right? Although I'm over here in the Philippines, so I don't know. But yeah, vote. Vote. Very important. So what's going on there, everybody? Oh, I got my earbud in my... I was watching. Dude, I just watched this, what do you call it? I don't know, it was a campaign ad or whatever for Kamala Harris, and it had like all the actors that were the Avengers in the film, right? So I don't know if you know, but like, you know, Trump and a lot of the individuals that he's selecting to be a part of his team, you know, and whatever they're calling them, like the MAGA Avengers or whatever, this and that. So I'm kind of thinking that this is where this idea came from. But the thing that liberals and actors are just so clueless and stupid about is you have, yes, Avengers is a comic book, it's a movie, and that's where like Trump and them got, or somebody got it from, right? But you have Trump and all these other people who actually do real stuff. Powerful individuals making important decisions, trying to make things better for, you know, the country, right? And then you have a bunch of liberal dorks who pretend to be, but yet we're going to have them get on there and be like, oh, hey. And the thing is like lefties look at that and they're like, oh my gosh. You know, like, I mean, the infatuation and the worshiping of celebrities is just ridiculous. But it is going down, you know, less and less people really care about what they say, you know. And a lot of it's because of social media, you know. Now we see what they're like, what celebrities are like in real life, you know. Before, the only time you saw a celebrity was when they'd let you, either in a film or like, you know, at the Oscars or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Or I guess sometimes paparazzi might get them. But that's about it. That's the only time you heard or saw. And then Twitter and everything else just, yeah, they screwed themselves. I don't know. It's crazy. But I definitely I've said it before. I'm like checked out of Hollywood almost completely. Not just like superhero movies, but just Hollywood in general. Although I did see a review about a Robert Zemeckis movie where like it's shot. I don't know what it's called. It's got Tom Hanks in it, which I don't know. Still trying to figure him out. But it's like the camera is in one place and does not move. And it's basically like almost like a single shot, but it's not like a, you know, an uncut whatever. And like it starts off with like the dinosaurs being and it just shows this one place, and it just progresses to eventually a house being built, and then it shows a living room, and then it shows a family, and then it shows the offspring, and you know, it just kind of, so it's kind of a neat idea, and it's cool just because, you know, it's different. It's not a reboot. It's not you know, all the BS that's going on right now. It's actually original, you know. And it's made by one of the greatest directors, man. He did Back to the Future, Framed Roger Rabbit, Forrest Gump. So it's probably pretty good. I'll probably check it out, I guess, eventually. But again, I don't like, oh my gosh. Like I used to get excited kind of, see something and be like, oh man. Now I'm just like, all right, well, maybe I'll check it out. Just don't care, you know? And a lot of it's because it's crap. A lot of it's let me down, and a lot of it is just because the people that make it, I don't want to support them anymore. They're all trash, you know. Like I watched, me and my wife watched Evil Dead Rising on Netflix, and I don't know, man. I loved the original Evil Deads. I have them in Army of Darkness, and I liked the show Ash versus the Evil Dead. And I didn't mind the reboot Evil Dead that came out like a while ago now. Pretty creepy and gory, you know. But I don't know if it's just again my age or maybe because I'm trying to be, a good Catholic. But watching this stuff kind of is like, I don't know, like I don't know. But we watched it. My wife didn't like it. She was like, because the characters in it are just stupid, and it's hard to get on board when you have characters that are just dumb. And I mean, granted, we know it's a horror movie, so we're hindsight is always 2020, and the characters don't know that their mom's gonna be a demon or whatever. But still, you see some shit. It's like, whoa, it takes them forever for it to click, But in it, it's like it's all just like I don't know. It just seems like it's I don't know. I don't know how to. But like there's a trans actor in it who's playing a boy, and right away. It's like they're doing a thing, and I'm just like, God, that dude is like really feminine looking. But like, I mean, to be honest, like it wasn't like what's it called? It acted like a boy, a male. Like I think honestly did a pretty good job, but you can just see in the face, and you're like, dude, that is a girl. You know what I mean? And I looked it up, and sure enough, yeah. So it's like, am I gonna turn it off because But it's just like it's just kind of annoying because it kind of pulls you out of it a little bit. You know what I mean? Because you're looking at it and you're just like, dude, that's not a dude. You can just tell, man. And I don't know. It was just kind of. But then you watch it and yeah, it was all right. I don't know. It's just I don't know. I felt bad because and then all these individuals who were like trans and they're trying to do whatever, they always got like massive depression and all this kind of stuff, and it's like I don't know. I'm not okay. That's not what I'm here to talk about anyway. But so here in the Philippines, they don't do Halloween necessarily. I mean, it seems like they kind of are, but they usually do All Souls Day, All Saints Day, and I think I've talked about it before, but everybody goes to whatever family members they have in the cemetery, and they clean up the area. And they're it's not like in the States where you just have a little gravestone in the graveyard right here, and then this is like the old school, like you see in like Louisiana, the old crypts, and you have the above ground kind of tomb things where the coffin is, and there's stuff all over the place, and it's like a maze, man. You can't even get to some places. So it's really kind of it's creepy, but it's like pretty at the same time. And then a lot of these places are just little structures, a roof, and for people to go in and hang out with their loved ones that are passed or whatever. So we, day before or whatever, we went and cleaned up everything and getting things ready, or a couple days before, I guess, and then it's like it's like a zoo, man. It's a circus. There's so many people and there's vendors and everything, but it's really really frustrating because oh my gosh, I know I've talked about it before. I hate beating the dead horse, but the police here are they're just stupid. I'm sorry. I was federal law enforcement, and so I kind of I get whatever, but it's like, man, and I guess we're out in the middle of nowhere, but it's like the police here just really don't do anything. They're like legitimately glorified security. And they think they're badass because they're a cop and they're in the uniform, and it's really annoying. Gosh, every time, man. But I'm trying to so there's like two ways to get into the cemetery, but there's one main road, and it's really close to where, like, the neighborhood where my wife grew up in. And so when they do this, they turn a road into a one-way. So it's like exit only, right? And to get inside, you got to take another street in the neighborhood, barangay, and then go through, and it'll come around, and then you can go up to the entrance, drop off, because they block it off and everything, and then you have to go around to do the one way to come out, right? So it's like, okay, you want to have the flow of traffic, okay, that's great, that works, you know what I mean? And then they don't want a bunch of people driving in, blocking, doing whatever, okay, that makes sense too. But that's one thing about the Philippines, is like they have good ideas, but their execution is just fucked. So we went through this last year. And so I was like, you know what, next year we're going to do a little earlier. So me and my wife, because we bought like a little generator, because we don't have, some people can hook up electricity to their loved ones, whatever. We haven't done that yet. So we bought just like this little generator just to power some lights and some fans and some other stuff, but we don't want to leave it there all night because people like to steal stuff we've had like solar lights stolen from her mom's, crypt, mausoleum, whatever I don't even know what they call them really. I mean, it's just like a, it's a nice like cage with a roof, but it's, pretty looking, and you can see the tomb and stuff, and it's all like tiled marble kind of, anyway. But yeah, we've had two solar lights stolen. And then people give offerings to their loved ones. So they'll bring like a Jollibee or McDonald's burger or something, right? Cheeseburger, and they'll leave it there. But then they'll leave it and they'll leave, and then somebody will come by and take it and either eat it or they give it to their loved one. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of, I think it's very disrespectful. You shouldn't mess with people's stuff like that. You know what I mean? But they do. So we didn't want to bring the generator, even though we had like a lock and a cage and stuff. Somebody sees the generator in there, that's a little bit of money. They might risk breaking in to actually get it or whatever. You know what I mean? So we didn't want to leave it there overnight. So what we did is we got up at like 4 a.m. Actually, it was like 4:30, I think. Got stuff ready, loaded up the truck, and was going to go there to unload, right? And this was like right around 6 o'clock in the morning by the time we got there. And they already had it blocked off. The cops were already there, and they're like, oh, nope, you can't come in. It's like, what? The thing doesn't really start till like way in the afternoon. Why are you blocking it off now? You have to let people do crap, get ready, get set up. You know what I mean? And it's like, and you're trying to explain this to the cops, and they're just like, yeah, it's closed.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Thanks again for listening to The Objective Jerk. I greatly appreciate it. If you could like, subscribe, comment on wherever you're finding this, and you can also email me at theobjectivejerk@gmail.com. So hope you're enjoying it, and please continue on with the episode. Yeah, I don't know. They want it closed. It's yeah. Like it's like, dude, we're just trying to drop our crap off and come out. There's nobody really here right now. It's like, dude, how early do we got to start doing it at midnight now? Or something? It's like, what the? And that's not even the worst part, man. So we went up there. We talked to somebody so we went up there, we dropped our stuff, and then we left our truck parked up on this hill out of the way, because in case, we have elderly that come and visit and whatever, and it's kind of a mess or whatever. So like if something was to happen, somebody was like needing to go to the ER, it's going to be way faster for us to put that individual in our car and drive them to the ER than it is to call for help and have, you know what I mean? Like it would take them forever. So that's why we have the truck there. And then of course we get a little flack for that. Oh, where'd you park it? It's like, dude, we're out of the way. We're not blocked because there's a single road that goes up in there and they don't want it blocked, which is understandable, you know, but we're way up on this hill, far away from everything, on the side, not on the road. So it's like, you know, we're trying to be cognizant and respectful, but it's like, dude, we need to have something, you know? And then, you know, so then we get kind of set up and do everything and everything is fine. And then, I went home like, I don't know, it was like around 3 or 4 or something. So I went home to shower well, I used the bathroom. I had to use the bathroom. And then it was hot, man. So I was like, you know, I'm going to rinse off. Just took a quick cold shower and then got some other stuff that was needed. Got on my talk, right? My wife's like, hey, just so you know, it's crazy now. So many people. And I'm like, okay, I got it. It's gonna, you know, it's gonna take a while. The one way, I'll get there, but it's gonna take a while. I'm mentally prepared, so I'm not like angry and frustrated. Because even though I could walk there in 5 minutes, it's gonna take me an hour to drive there, right? And I was like, when we had our car parked in this parking lot where you would park and then you could walk in. So I was like, okay, that's there. I'm just going to park my talk right behind that. Good to go, right? So I go there and it's taking forever, right? So that the detour to go down the other side, it's just bumper to bumper, move forward a little bit, move forward, stop, move forward, stop, like taking forever. And it took like, to go maybe a little more than 100 yards took a half hour, 40 minutes or something like that. But you know what? I was like, okay, I'm just, you know, I did my thing. I was just going, whatever. But then right at the end, all of a sudden, like 5 or 6 motorcycles, mopeds come up on the side and try and cut in. And it's like, and I'm like fighting them off kind of. I'm like, dude, fucking, we're all sitting here waiting. Wait. You know what I mean? Like, we're all driving this thing. We're all sitting here on our ass. You can't just come in and like, and it was like, and I was like, hey, I started yelling at them, you know? I'm like, what fucking wait? They probably don't even know what the fuck I'm saying. And so then I got a little pissed, right? So I'm like irritated and I'm like, God. So then finally I make the turn, getting closer to where I can turn and go by and then get to the parking lot, you know? Because, I forgot to say this, because I had my parents' ashes. So my parents passed away, and so I have their ashes here, and we're going to actually include them in this little mausoleum that my wife's parents are at. So they're going to be there, and then just like a little thing for their ashes, you know. So that's kind of the plan. So I had them with me because we're going to, you know, bring them and be a part of the whole thing. And so I'm already walking far. So it's like, dude, I'm not going to, you know. So, but as I'm pulling up, I see a car come up the wrong way, which is supposed to be a one-way. But now I see a car come up, right? And then it goes to where I got to go, right? And I'm just like, fucking people, man. They just, whatever. And then as I get there, the cops there is like, he's flagging me to go take a left or whatever. I'm like, no, I got to go this way. I got a spot. He's like, oh, there's no parking. And I'm like, dude, you just let a car go through there. And I'm like, I have a spot reserved. I have a spot. And then like, and I just went from like Bruce Banner to Hulk. And I was like, fuck you. And I fucking went straight. And people were coming. It was like a pain in the ass. But then by the time I finally parked, dude, my blood was boiling. I was really trying to calm down. But dude, I was so pissed. And then you go in there, it's just so, you know, they have, I mean, it's crazy how many people there were. But by this time, a lot of people were leaving. But that's the problem is like they set up this detoured one way, which makes sense and it works, but they don't enforce it. The cops have no idea how to kind of, they're stupid. The police here are stupid. if you're a Filipino police officer, I'm sorry, but you're dumb. Like the people that just really fail in school and college or barely make by and just really have no common sense, no reasoning, they become police here. And I hate to say that because it's like that's kind of the field I was in, security and law enforcement and stuff. And I used to get yelled at and all this stuff all the time, and they used to say, if you're not getting yelled at, you're not doing your job or whatever, because you got to enforce laws and stuff like that. But the thing is, they don't know how to enforce anything. Why couldn't we turn right? Because people were walking, a bunch of people were leaving. Make them walk the way you're supposed to go. The detour, the one ways. Then you have the car coming up the wrong way. It's like, dude, what are you doing? And these guys, and then it's just like, they have no clue, And then it's like you're trying to bring an elderly 80-year-old person in there, and they want to argue with you about, oh, you can't bring that up there. It's like, well, you want this guy to walk up there with the cane? You know what I mean? It's like they cannot think. Like it's just retarded. I'm hoping, I know they're probably not. I think there's only a few people in the Philippines that actually listen to my, well, I don't know. I can only tell with the podcast. As far as my videos, I don't know who watches that, but it's probably the States. But I would love to just sit there and like next year be in charge of that and tell them, you know what I mean? And it's like, they need to have like, okay, you can come in and drive your vehicle, can't park, drive your vehicle, drop off stuff, do whatever you got to do up until, I don't know, 10 o'clock in the morning. When 10 o'clock in the morning hits, you cannot come in and you're not going to be able to come out. You're going to be stuck there or something like that, Which seems ridiculous, but whatever. As long as you put it out there, the information. And the thing is like, they probably let people in like we did and we stayed up there. And then people do the same thing. But it's like, dude, if you're worried about people going in there and parking and staying, have them leave their license with you. So then they can't get it until they come back out. And the other thing is too, is like, dude, there was like 10 police officers, and they're probably all like newbies, which is probably part of the problem. But they're all just sitting there on their asses, fucking on their phones, while one or two are doing something. It's like they should be up through walking around, patrolling. I had to work events and walk around through the crowd and do whatever and make sure nothing was going on. They don't do anything. They're lazy and they're stupid. And it's just like, have that time for people to set up so they know. And then they need the one ways, the detours. I mean, everybody, it's always the same so far since I've been here. So most people know, but you still get the morons and they just don't enforce it. They don't have anybody. I don't know. They don't know how to implement it. They're like, okay, this is going to be the one way. Okay. And they just expect people to do it. But people are stupid. People don't want to do what they're supposed to do. They don't want to wait. They don't want to, but it's like, set up the rules, set up the guidelines, but enforce it. And then also just, they have to have these guidelines or whatever. That makes sense. So we were there like at 6 o'clock, 12 hours before, or maybe 10 hours before, or 8 maybe before things really get going. And we can't go in there. Like, what the fuck? Why are you closing it off so early? Like, we have to set, it's like, that makes no sense. And I think last year, they actually did put out, hey, you need to by this time, by noon or something like that. You know what I mean? So it blows my mind because they have this event every year. And every year it's a shit show. It's hard to say that. It's like you think it would progress. Oh, this is what we screwed up last year. Okay, we're going to make it better next year. And then, but no, they don't. It sometimes it's like, it's crap. And sometimes it gets worse. And it's just like, I just have no respect for the Filipino police. I just don't. Sorry. Sucks. But like, I've talked to a couple like retired guys or guys that used to be police officers, and it was fine. But man, I have not interacted with a police officer since I've been here 4 years now, where I was like, oh man, this guy's he's on it. He knows it. I'm always like, dude, you're a disgrace. You know what I mean? Like I have not been impressed by them yet. And it's like they just all think because they're wearing the uniform, you must respect me. I'm important. And it's like, dude, you got to give a little. It's like, yes, you get a little bit of respect from the uniform, gives you a little bit, but you still can't be a fucking douchebag. I don't know. It's just retarded. It's annoying. Anyway, that's it. I've talked over my limit. Holy crap, 25 minutes. All right. Thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging out. God bless, and I'll see you next time. All right, bye. You just put yourself through another episode of The Objective Jerk. Thanks again for hanging out with me. Please email me at theobjectivejerk@gmail.com. Like, subscribe, comment, wherever you find this, follow. It all helps. But thanks again, and I'll see you next time.